For 54 days, we've searched for answers regarding the disappearance of Ronnie. While we wish we had located him by now, we remain without that closure. However, we have now received confirmation from the investigators that Ronnie was taken against his will.
Ronald Dumas is a beloved father and well-known real estate agent from Huntsville, Alabama. However, his troubling disappearance late last year has left his family and community searching for answers. Welcome back to Park Jones. The Ronald Dumas case has all the makings of a true nightmare. A successful man vanishing without a trace, prostitution, and now multiple arrests tied to possible human trafficking.
Recovered text messages have helped provide clarity regarding what took place the night of December 15th. Prosecutors say Ronald Dumas Jr. was solicited by two women, Kalisha McKinney and Sabrina Chambers. The interaction took place at Mid-City Liquor, where the women allegedly offered sexual services to Dumas. It was then that investigators believe Dumas was abducted and taken to the Memphis area where his car was found.
Ronald Dumas was first reported missing on December 22, 2024. Surveillance footage from the night before shows Ronald entering a liquor store in Memphis, Tennessee with two women. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Ronald appeared relaxed and unharmed, yet the next morning, his black 2021 Hyundai Palisade was found abandoned along Interstate 40 near Camden, Tennessee, about 100 miles away from where he was last seen. The car was left on the side of the highway, engine off, no sign of Ronald anywhere. Initially, authorities didn't seem to put much effort behind the disappearance of Ronald. It wasn't until his family and people on social media applying pressure that police started prioritizing the case. And once they started digging, the evidence led investigators to suspect foul play and something much darker.
Margot, minutes ago, we heard a lot of emotions from those close to missing realtor Ronald Dumas. The family and representatives of the missing realtor were giving us some sort of information. They were very upset at the police, the fact that they just now ruled this as an abduction 54 days after Dumas disappeared. Now, Dumas was last seen in Huntsville in December at a liquor store with two women. Those close to Dumas say his disappearance was out of character, and they've been wanting answers from investigators. Now, today, they did get some of those answers. Police named 5 people who have warrants in this case. 4 of the suspects are facing kidnapping-related charges. A 5th faces a charge of receiving stolen property. None of those people are in custody, and police in Huntsville and Memphis are actively searching for them, along with U.S. Marshals. Family members were upset that they got the information today from the media and not directly from police.
This has robbed us. And we really wish that we were taken seriously the first time. We want him home. If you know something, please say something to us. We need him back.
In early 2025, there was a huge break in the case. Investigators announced arrest warrants for 5 individuals they believe are connected to Ronald's disappearance. Now follow me. Quantarius White and Kiera Clark were identified as suspects, which is incredibly concerning because in 2023, Quantarius and Kiera were accused of kidnapping a mother and her baby, then forcing the mother into sex trafficking. Charges in that case were eventually dropped, but what's that saying? Where there's smoke, there's fire. Police also identified Tor Laurent Malorin, who had warrants back in 2016 for kidnapping. They also identified Carissa Cash and Sabrina Rochelle Chambers as suspects, but here's where things get weird. Sabrina's family alleges that she is bipolar, autistic, and to an extent developmentally delayed. There is speculation that Sabrina is being manipulated or even trafficked by the other suspects.
Well, Tamika asked Rosa Hardy if she's heard from her granddaughter, Sabrina Chambers, and she tells me nothing has changed since the last time we spoke in February. Hardy says she's constantly praying for a safe outcome and believes the arrest in Memphis could lead authorities straight to her granddaughter.
I was elated because the guy, what's his name, Quintarius, he's the one that took her away, you know, when she left. And he was over at her place quite a bit. So I was very elated to know that they had arrested someone in the case. And I do believe this is going to flush Sabrina out.
Now, this case has gotten widespread attention and has sparked strong reactions online. Many people have criticized the pace and direction of the investigation, and some are pointing fingers even at Rosa Hardy herself, questioning whether she may be withholding any information about her granddaughter's whereabouts. But Hardy says that couldn't be further from the truth.
And because of this, some people suspect that Sabrina may be a missing person too. Police have not officially confirmed this, but if it's true, that would make this a missing person within a missing person's case, or a trafficked person within a trafficked person's case, or a kidnapped person within a kidnapped person's case. I don't know, but you guys get my point. The rabbit hole runs deep.
Nikki, today is an especially hard day for Sabrina's grandmother.
That's right, Laura. Not only does it mark 5 months to the day since Rosa Hardy saw Sabrina, that's Sabrina Chambers' grandmother, but today is also her 28th birthday. Despite the time that has passed, Miss Hardy says her gut tells her that Sabrina is still alive. Miss Hardy said she has not heard from Sabrina since their last conversation on January 17th, but she does get weird phone calls that make her feel like she or someone else is trying to contact her. Hardy says the person on the line won't speak, and as soon as she says, "Sabrina, is this you?" the phone hangs up. Hardy says she just received one of these odd calls last night, and it was the first time that the voice on the line that sounded like a recording said goodbye before hanging up the phone. And Hardy says just last month, she received notices in the mail for apartments applied for in Sabrina's name. Those were both in Florida and California. Hardy says she has reported all of these details to Huntsville Police Department and the U.S. Marshals.
Now, what's odd is that Sabrina's grandmother has been given media coverage a couple times over the last several months. Opinion of one, but these segments often read as if police are using the grandmother to try and convince Sabrina to come out of hiding or slip up, which in turn may lead them to the other suspects. I mean, when have you seen the family member of a suspect get this much media coverage?
I need to have closure, and I'm not going to give up. You know, if they call me and tell me they found her remains, I'm going to deal with it. If they catch her, you know, I know she's going to have to tell her part of, you know, she played in this. And if she has to go to jail, I'm going to deal with that as well.
In April, Hardy says she was shown a picture and video taken by someone who thought they may have seen Sabrina in a supermarket parking lot on Sparkman Drive. Hardy said she full-heartedly believes it was her and that her granddaughter, that was the last time she had seen any sort of picture of her.
In April 2025, the U.S. Marshals Two Rivers Violent Fugitive Task Force and the Memphis Police Department arrested 5 people in connection to the case. Quantarius White and Kiera Clark were arrested on various charges, in addition to 3 people who were arrested for harboring fugitives. Police have linked Quantarius and Kiera to a prostitution ring and Ronald's disappearance, citing messages from Kiera instructing someone to pull out Ronald's teeth with pliers to get access to his bank account. They believe that Kiera orchestrated his kidnapping from afar.
The family's goal and my goal has always been to find Ronnie.
Quintarius White and Kiera Clark were arrested in Memphis, Tennessee yesterday by the U.S. Marshals Two River Violent Fugitive Task Force and the Memphis Police Department. According to the family's spokesperson, White was booked on a charge of aggravated assault, act in concert, and Clark was booked on a charge of especially aggravated kidnapping. Huntsville police say they are still on the lookout for these 3 suspects in connection to the Dumas disappearance. Sabrina Chambers is believed to be one of the women Dumas was last seen with on video surveillance here in Huntsville. The connection to the other 2 is still not clear. Our sister station in Memphis says 3 other people were in the home where the 2 suspects were arrested. Cassie Feathers, Diedrich Woodard, and Jasmine Braden are all charged with harboring fugitives.
Ronald is a professional and very well put together, so let me connect the dots on how he got mixed up with these people. Bank records show that Ronald paid a woman at Mid-City Liquor Store. This is somehow connected to Kalisha McKinney and Sabrina Chambers, known prostitutes who were advertising a 2-for-1 special, leading police to believe that Ronald was soliciting prostitutes that night. Not long after that night, Kalisha mysteriously passes away. Official reports say overdose, but I will let you come to your own conclusion. Anyways, Quantarius was Sabrina's pimp, and Kiera has been described as his partner. It's not clear if they are business partners or romantic partners, but what is clear is that Kiera is in a more elevated position than Sabrina or Kalisha ever was. From there, Quantarius learned that Ronald had $7,000 in his bank account. This information likely came from Kalisha or Sabrina, and that's when Kiera told Quantarius to torture Ronald to gain access to his phone and bank account. Text messages further revealed that Quantarius planned to take Ronald back to Memphis, meaning he was likely still alive after being tortured. Quantarius and Kiera got rid of Ronald's phone because they didn't want his location being tracked. Police would eventually track Ronald's phone to Sabrina's apartment in December 2024, but by the time they tried to contact her in January 2025, she was gone. Apartment completely empty.
My wife and I, we have to deal with this issue every day. We have people calling us, giving us condolences. I said, well, no, don't say that, I'm not giving up on him yet, he's gonna be found. To me, I say he's still alive. And the fact that they found these people that was harboring two of those people, I have hope that someone else was harboring them also.
Quantarius is being held in a Tennessee jail while Kiera is being held without bond in an Alabama jail. Her defense has revealed that she was not physically present during the incident and that even though text messages from her phone were sent to Quantarius, there is no proof that she was the one sending them.
Where's Ronnie?
Kiera Clark arrived at the Madison County Courthouse in shackles and an orange jumpsuit. Prosecutors called a Huntsville police investigator to the stand. He said that Clark is one of 5 suspects wanted in connection to the kidnapping of Ronald Dumas Jr. But she was not in Huntsville at the time of the kidnapping. She was back in Memphis, messaging this man, Quantarius White, who is currently locked up in Shelby County, Tennessee, on other charges. According to testimony, Clark and White were in a relationship, and she was busy texting White while he was in Huntsville acting as a pimp for one other woman captured on surveillance video from the Mid-City liquor store with Dumas. Investigators say Dumas paid one of them, but both women were identified from a prostitution website offering a 2-for-1 deal. Testimony revealed Clark was texting White, who somehow knew Dumas had $7,000 in his bank account. Prosecutors say the texts point to instructions on how to rob, kidnap, and torture Dumas that possibly led to his death. The defense argued there is no way to prove that she was the one texting White that night, but prosecutors argue the phone number was linked to her and pinging in Memphis the night of the kidnapping.
The case of Ronald Dumas continues to unravel nearly 9 months after his disappearance, and it seems that police still don't have an idea of where he is. Some speculate that Ronald is no longer with us, but knowing the suspect's histories, is it possible that Ronald is actually a victim of trafficking? And if so, how deep does this rabbit hole really go? Because I've never heard of a John getting kidnapped before. And where is Sabrina? Due to her developmental challenges, she seems to get influenced easily by those around her, so it's not shocking that someone like Quantarius would exploit her. I just question whether or not someone is holding her against her will. The whole case is tragic, and we will continue to pray for Ronald's family, hoping for a positive outcome. If you want to support the channel, be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and check out the videos on the screen. I'm your host, Park Jones, and I'll catch you on the next one.